And as we line up for the start of election year, first out of the blocks, in fact breaking the start by some considerable margin, were the Greens. They've announced a new policy platform, or rather it's not so much policy as platform of a wish list. And that wish list is more modest perhaps than some of the Greens' more extreme demands in the past. They've dropped one of their iconic stances, which was a demand for the reintroduction of death duties. They're less firm than they were about dumping all sorts of private health and private education, although they're still very firmly in favour of the public sector in both areas. So no real surprises, except they're obviously trying to make themselves a bit more voter-friendly, a bit less liable to attack by the other parties as being loopy and extreme. Will it work? Well, probably not if the first reactions were any indication. The main reaction from the Labor Party was that this was all a bluff. Instead of having specific policies, they'd just have these vague ideals which should be pursued, and that, of course, would prevent them from being costed. There'd be no specifics to cost, so the Greens could go ahead with a wish list as long as they liked. So no dice according to Labor. But on the Liberal side, Eric Abetz, the Tasmanian Minister for Business and also Industrial Affairs, went further and said that the Greens were quite clearly still as extreme as they'd ever been, probably more so according to Mr Abetz, but this was all trying to hide their policies. It was concealing the true horror of their intentions. What? You mean just like the major parties? You mean just like Eric Abetz conceals the main horror of his intentions in trying to abolish all workplace regulation, get rid of the unions, and reinstitute something close to a feudal society, as he and others, including the late unlamented Nick Minchin, have admitted privately to some of their friends and acquaintances and fellow loonies. In other words, the Greens are simply coming to the party. They're learning a bit about spin themselves. Will it help? All we can say is, well, it's worked for the other parties, why not for the Greens? I'm Mungo McCallum.